All right. Welcome to LOCKBEARD Random Live, number 78, Merica Day. Looks like I'm having some technical issues, so hopefully I'm coming through all right for everybody. How's it going? Everybody having a good 4th? Let me see what things look like on YouTube here. Looks like it's okay. See if everybody. See if y'all remember this little probably hoax. Looks cool. Make a good movie. But I don't think I believe it. Angel Nolan, welcome. How's it going? Figure there won't be, probably a lot of people be, I don't know, having family gatherings or something for 4th of July. Danny Stanton's here. He says, greetings from South Carolina and happy 4th of July. Back at you. Mr. Lee, what's going on? He's over there not celebrating 4th of July, I'm sure. What do they think about 4th of July over there where you're at? Just, they don't think about it at all? Do y'all protest 4th of July? So them bunch of traitors over there. Yep. Everybody's blowing stuff up over here, Mr. Lee. Don't freak out. It's gonna be okay. No celebration here. Y'all should do something. I don't know what. Y'all should I don't know, protest or something. Say, America, you can come back to us. Danny says, in English, Mr. Lee, is the 4th holiday like got our ass kicked today. Yeah. Rex Hand is here. Welcome. Angel says, as much as I love the parades and fireworks, I hate crowds, so I prefer to stay home and celebrate. And I don't celebrate at all. It's just another day for the most part to me, other than having to deal with everybody else behaving differently and creating an issue. Like in the town I was in, for many years. It's a big time destination for holidays like this, and the traffic can be backed up for miles going into town because everybody wants to get to their lake houses or to a cabin or something, and they're bringing boats, tons of boats because of the lake. This town is not like that. Just kind of got a little bit more dead than usual. Mr. Lee says, Dan, something like that. Just board is here. Says happy 4th of July to you and all in chat. Rex says he's got some steaks on the grill and cold beer in your hand. Danny says on the 4th of July in England, do you hang flags upside down like distress symbol? Angel says by celebrate, the other half cooks some good steaks on the grill. Yeah, that's plenty enough celebration. We're in danger of sounding like we're hobbits. There will be no adventures here. Mr. Lee says, Dan, I can if you want. You can rescue me. Do you need rescued, Mr. Lee? We kind of wondered if you might need rescued after you were talking about somebody's cooking. So I'm kind of wondering if I don't know if Jeff is going to be on tonight or not, or anybody for that matter. I mean, we went over all the different shows that would be on tonight, but I bet a lot of them won't be on. So I don't know. I was trying to start by 5, but got started at 5:15 to try and be done. Try to be 2 hours in by 7 when Sasquatch Out of the Shadows comes on. But I don't know that he's going to come on tonight. So, I don't know. Chessboard says half the year is gone. Where did it go? I don't know. It seems like time just kind of disappears. Days pass, and I'm like, do I remember those days passing? Where did just kind of poof. Danny says they want to be able to save nobody on an island. No escape like 28 days later. Mr. Lee says after the girlfriend's cooking, bad guts all day. Angel says at times I think I could easily become a hermit. Yeah. Life is a trackway. He's in the house. Says he's glad to see he's not the only one kind of bored this afternoon. Yeah. I imagine, if you're not someone that really cares about doing anything for today, you might be a little bored. Might be. Mr. Lee says Lockbeard every day. That's what I'm saying. Well, I know, but I need to try to direct my energy towards things that might result in income, and YouTube is not doing that. it's actually draining money because I got to pay for this thing and that thing to do this, and do it right. Like saving all the doing the backups for all the videos. I mean, one, that takes some time out of the day, and I got to go somewhere where there's some uh, faster internet to do that, and then I got to pay for the storage space as well. So, that's just one of the things. Trying to see if we've hit. We were supposed to hit 100 by this time today. Let me see. Let me see if we have. Because the temperature was increasing faster than they predicted, but it seems like we didn't quite touch 100. We got to 99 degrees today. $99. Rexan says, older you get, it's the quickening. Danny says, I just came out to smoke after eating too much cookout crap. 2 burgers, no buns, a steak, and a small amount of baked beans. Mr. Lee thinks 28 Days Later is a good movie. Yeah, baked beans are not keto. I don't like baked beans, man. I don't know why anyone likes them. I've never liked them. Life says I care, but when you set off big booms, these little booms are not as a must-see. Danny says, yeah, Mr. Lee, I love England. Visited there back in the 80s for an entire month. Holidays are cheat days for keto. Yeah, sometimes it can be hard to stay keto when everyone's making some big meal, but it's not that hard. If you you can, like everybody's grilling stuff, right? So you can just eat the meat without the bun, right? No problem. Mr. Lee says, Dan, whereabouts? The posh part, I bet. The posh part? Posh must be one of those English people words. 98 in Hayesville, Kansas, Rex says. Yeah. Got hot. I'm near the town of Muskogee. It says it's 99 here, but who knows for sure, right? Danny says he went to London for a while and a place called Brooms Grove. Life says, I had to work today. Then again, I think I've worked almost every holiday in the last 30 years. Sometimes it's a smart thing to do because, a lot of times you get paid more to do it and all that stuff. Everybody else don't like doing it, so now they owe you a favor for working. So when they ask you, can you work? So, oh man, do I have to? Jeez, man, you're really putting me out. When you really don't care. Mr. Lee says, I eat a lot of cheese and steak and fish and eggs. Posh equals high end. Yeah, I figured. Chessport says, Rex, and if time had gone this fast when I was younger, I had retired 55 years ago. Rexan says, I hear that. Mr. Lee says Brooms Grove is near Birmingham. Yep. I wonder if reunification would ever be a possibility, Mr. Lee. What if America could go to such complete shit at some point that everyone here is like, you know what? Things are going pretty good in Great Britain. Why don't we just rejoin the empire? I'll be like, no, 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 no. We don't need them. We got an empire right here. Just listen to a few logical things, and things could be a lot better. You know, like our gas prices. It's a real simple fix. One, we grab every single politician and rich fuck pulling the strings behind this whole conspiracy, and we throw them all to fucking jail. All of them, all to jail. And then we stop putting, restrictions on oil production here in the United States. Gas will be cheap as hell. Every time someone tries to fearmonger the people with crap about something like Ukraine, a country we gave no shits about a couple of years ago. We gave zero shits about Ukraine. But all of a sudden, it's a horrible thing. It's a big deal. We need to be concerned about this. And gas prices are high. Food's going to go through. No, y'all are doing shit to make food scarce and more expensive. They're trying to create an artificial food shortage. They're doing it on purpose. It's not an accident. It's not something out of our control. The politicians do this shit on purpose. And until everybody wakes up to that fact, they're going to continue to get away with this bullshit. Mr. Lee says, how are the bees today? They're good. They're good. Got stung on that finger again. That finger gets tagged more than anything else because I was messing with them. There's a hive that keeps building comb on the underside of the hive instead of inside the hive. So I was scraping it off the bottom of the hive, and one of them decided to let me know she didn't appreciate that shit. Is there static? I don't know why I'd have static. Unless, I know my signal seems to be weak today. The intro was all jacked up. But it was skipping the time, like up here. So I'm thinking it was still playing fine for you, but it would stop and then it'd restart and back and forth on me. So you're hearing me break up too? Mr. Lee says, I'm sick of the crackheads around here. I'm moving again in 7 weeks. Dang. Would have thought they would have had that under control. They took away all y'all's guns, right? Danny says, I had a stroke in 2011. Best thing ever happened to me. Life says, so it's not just me, Jess. Dad right on. Chessboard says, Danny, hope you are doing well now. You do not hear no static. Awesome. Rex says, I agree with that statement, Lockbeard. I ain't driving an electric car, ain't wearing no mask, ain't giving up my guns. It's the way to be. That's the way to be. Danny says, I'm doing great. Soon I will be doing better. Life says, sometimes, whoops, sometimes Wi-Fi messes up, so your static is still there. Wife was that? What? There's Judy. Judy says, Happy Independence Day around the world. Well, Mr. Lee isn't celebrating. I think Mr. Lee thinks that we're all a bunch of traitors. Be free, people. Life is a traway. Fortunately, crackheads are everywhere. Yeah, we got them. We got them over here too, Mr. Lee. Got them over here too. Chessport says Charlton Heston said it best: "Pry it from my cold, dead hands." Yep. Free independence for all. Demand it. Mr. Lee says, Angel, yeah, right outside my front door. Most nights I have a hammer next to the bed. Judy says, we are all an extension of the Queen. Angel says, we have them up here in the sticks. Yep, crackheads everywhere. Mr. Lee says, you are a reptilian also. There he goes with that reptilian stuff again. Mr. Lee, there's no reptilians. It's just some crazy shit. People watch too much of that TV show V. Too much V. Papa Craig's here. He says it's Nana's and my anniversary. We're back from the hills. They're having fireworks for us later. There you go. That's slick. Have your wedding on the 4th, and that way everyone celebrates your wedding. You get a proper fireworks display and everything. Chessboard says, hello, Judy. See message and comments. 3 beautiful dance partners for Uncle Bones. Van Halen. More Than a Hammer. Well, Mr. Lee over there probably has some extreme limitations on what he can have for home defense. And it is extreme. It is very extreme. People in Great Britain may not realize it's extreme, but it is. Since the dawn of time, whatever the best weaponry was, everybody had a right to arm themselves. Whether it's a sharpened wooden stick, a bronze sword, a flint-napped spear-pointed spear, shotguns, bow and arrow, whatever it is. Everyone had the right to be able to defend themselves and be armed. And now all of a sudden you got this really strange, mentally insane idea that the government has the right to take your right to be armed, to tell you you have to be checked out, your background has to be checked, you have to fill out forms, you have to get approved. No, 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 no. That's not how this shit works. It's not how this shit works. Government doesn't have the right to know whether I have any kind of weaponry at all. It's none of their business. Until I've actually done something criminal, which is actually violate someone else's rights, then no one has any business looking at me or searching me. Nothing. And it's hard for people to wrap their minds around that and understand that, I guess. Some people. Because they think we need to do this and background checks. Nope, that you're stepping right on that slippery slope, and then you're going to wonder why you slide all the way to the bottom to you're getting marched off to the camps. Never, ever, ever compromise on your liberty at all in the slightest bit, period. I do not need to be licensed to own a weapon. I don't need the government to tell me if it's okay that I have a weapon. It's none of their goddamn business, and it's no one else's goddamn business. Until I actually do something wrong to another human being, you cannot jack with me. You just can't. I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand. They think we need to do this and that, and no. You're stepping right on that slippery slope, and you're gonna slide all the way to the freaking bottom, and then wonder what the hell happened. How did old Adolf come to power? Well, you fucking started it. You stepped on that slippery slope. It's not, I don't know how else to explain it. You think you're doing something good by doing background checks and all this shit. Yeah, we already have that. What is it done? Is it stopped anything? No, I don't think it stopped a damn thing. Because those people can go get the guns from the black market. You know what I mean? You're just cutting off the legal purchasing procedure. You haven't stopped them from purchasing things illegal. It was the same thing with drugs, with alcohol prohibition. Anything you prohibit, yeah, people can't legally do it, but people will still do it illegally. There are ways to do it. There is a black market. It's kind of like the abortion thing. Some states may decide to make it where you can't get abortions. Well, here's the fucking reality. Whether it's right or wrong, people will do it secretly, black market style, if they don't go across state boundaries. So now you've lost revenue for your state, and you've created a new revenue stream for the criminal element. Congratulations. It doesn't matter where you stand on abortion. That is the fucking fact of the situation. It's going to make money for the criminal element if you restrict abortion more than it has been. Just a goddamn fact. So, what's more important to you? If it's going to happen, have it done safely and legally, or have it happen unsafely and illegally, and probably a few women die in the process because you decided you wanted to try and restrict something, you didn't like it, and you thought you had a better way, and you just didn't. You didn't. I mean, prohibition always. You got to be very picky about what you prohibit. Um, you know, like the real crimes, right? The real crimes, like human trafficking. We still got human trafficking going on. Why is that? Probably because we're wasting a bunch of resources on other things, chasing drugs, for example. We're chasing drugs. How about we stop using our law enforcement on that kind of stuff and actually go full bore on the human trafficking? Oh, dang, the chat jumped on me big time. Papa says, Mr. Lee, sorry we didn't want to stay subjects to the monarchy. Jen's here. Says, welcome, or happy 4th, everyone. Welcome, Jen. Judy says, Papa Craig, that's what my daughter and hubby just celebrated. Yep, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Mr. Lee says, the original series one was fantastic, especially when they ate the mice and rats. Cool. Yeah. Well, I thought it was cool when I was a kid. Now I think it's just freaking stupid. It was pretty damn ridiculous, really, if you think about it. Judy says, Mr. Lee, you're under control over there. Ben says, I have an Nerf gun. Welcome to the chat, Ben. The real Pauly T is here. He says, evening lock and chat. Want to wish y'all happy 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Hope y'all have a great day. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Lee tells Judy here, no one can control me. Oh, you're under control, Mr. Lee. You're under total control. Fourth. You're usually good. Rex says, Mr. Lee, get your katana. Chessboard says, hello, the real Pauly T. Y'all have a 5th on the 4th? They might. He might. Angel says, I hear you, Lockbeard. I'm in Commie, New York. Why do you say Commie, New York? What's going on in Commie, New York? Judy says, Mr. Lee, I think I can vouch for you on that. Mr. Lee says, I do have a sword, yes. Papa Craig says, I used to be pretty good with a saber. 4th in the state in fencing. You might want to brush up on it, get practice up, because the shit hits the fan hard enough. It don't matter how much ammunition people think they have stocked up. You're probably going to run out at some point. Shit might get real. This, she says they still control us. Yeah. Mr. Lee says, Rick's hand. For my 50th birthday, I will have another sword made for me. The real Pauly T says, Chess, laughing my ass off. Pretty close. You got cameras over here. Hope you're well. Angel Nolan says, criminals will still get guns. Only hurts. Oh, shoot. Where'd the... I think chat jumped on me again. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. There it is. All right. Our Angel was saying, criminals will still get guns. Only hurts a lot of abiding people. That is true. Life says the missus is deadly with a pay. I'm not sure I know what that is. Some chain link to keep the riffraff out. Papa Craig says, I have a hammer. Oops. There it goes. I have a hammer by the bed too, a Ruger 44 mag, single 6. Sandra Piper is here. Welcome. The real Polly T says, Papa, go big or go home with the hammer. I'm thinking, Dad. Life says, I can't say much. I have a different firearm for each outfit. Accessorizing is important. Ben T says, hammer time with Papa C. The real Polly T says, Lockbeard, Mr. Lee is under remote control. Really? Papa Craig says, I have to let Nana control me sometimes, and it's really, really hard. Life is a trackway says, total lack of control equals an English pub during football season. Is that real football or soccer? I don't care. I don't care for either one. Chessboard says, Papa Craig, I like my lapel. It's like Ma Bell reaches out and touches things. Mr. He says, happy 4th to all from Ireland. Welcome to the chat, Mr. Hugh. Angel says, more gun laws coming down, including background checks for ammo. That's just ridiculous. If you already did a background check for the gun, why do you need the background check for the ammo? See, they're just trying to control, and none of it should be allowed. None of it. No background checks, period. That's a slippery slope. You step on it, you slide all the way down to Adolf takes over and throws you in a camp. Chessboard says, hello, Mr. Hugh, for the third world country, USA. Yeah, it might be that way soon enough. Angel says, Papa Craig, that is a relationship / marriage equals compromise at times. Grasshopper is here. He says, was just watching local Chicago TV. I also found his father's Facebook and watched his son's YouTube videos. The son had some real problems posted on YouTube. It's like we've stepped into the middle of a conversation. What are you talking about exactly? Kind of lost. Mr. Lee says, Sandra, have you heard from Nikki? How is her knee doing? Yes. Yes, how's she doing? Life says, a saber is a flat sword made for slicing A pei is a round sword designed for puncturing. Oh, this stupid chat is all jacked up today. Grasshopper says, afternoon, yaws, cray cray, crypto weirdos. Haven't heard from Nikki. Papa Craig says, gun control means using two hands. Mr. Lee says, soccer, Lockbeard. No, it's football, man. Well, at least it's actually a ball. I don't know what the hell the shape of the thing is they use here for our kind of football. Angel says, Papa Craig, I thought gun control was hitting your target. Mr. Lee says, Sandra, I hope Nikki has still managed to celebrate. Yeah, hopefully so. Grasshopper says, Judy, also my dream girl. I have a lot of dreams. I don't know what this three beautiful dance partners for Uncle Bones. Judy, she hurt her knee yesterday and had to go to the hospital, so that's why she didn't have her live stream last night. Papa Craig says, Angel, you hold a pistol with two hands to ensure you hit the dang thing. Mr. Lee says, Lockbird, you going to sing your national anthem or what? Oh, no. Nope. Grasshopper says, mass shootings in Chicago, still looking for the shooter now. Really? Isn't Chicago one of those supposedly gun-free cities? Damn. Ben says the Stasi will come for your weapons. It's only a matter of time. Most of them have two small hands. The real Polly T says, all right, cool kids, my chicken thighs are done. I'm sitting down to chow. Hope y'all have a great night. You too, Polly T. Thanks for coming. Donald Fuller's here. Welcome. Sandra says, Mr. Lee, just checked my messages and Nikki said she made it through the night and is good. Try and get that message up. There it goes. Let's see here. Judy says, oh no, I hate when I turn my knees and my legs weren't ready to turn with. Papa Craig says, I thought it was written for our immigrants. Jose, can you see? Life says, north of Georgia in the burbs, some kid fired into a 4th of July parade. It's crazy. Grasshopper says, kid used an AR-type gun shooting randomly at a 4th of July parade with kids and families around suburban neighborhoods. 6 dead so far, dozens injured. It's insane. Do they have any idea what his motive was? I mean, these days they can check out people's social media and kind of figure out what they're, because they say shit. People say shit. They kind of tell on themselves, which is a good thing, helps these days to kind of see, at least we can see what was going on in their head a little better these days because of social media. But Too bad somebody didn't spot the issue ahead of time, though. Chessboard says Ben T cannot comment or my door would be kicked in from the rooftops. It's for us all. Papa asked Donald, "Are you going camping in Arizona?" They haven't caught him, so they don't even know who he is yet. Graz says, "I found his YouTube. He was a real garbage kid with huge suicidal videos he made, including AR shooting someone he made a cartoon of." Holy crap. Jen says they have a suspect named in the Chicago shooting. Papa says, "Ben, that used to be our Mexican cleanup crew at the sawmill, according to them." Donald says, "Papa, I decided against it. I'm too cheap to pay for the gas prices. Cost me well over $1,000. Oh, that's crazy, man. Yeah, gas prices are too damn high to do anything. So, what are you going to do? Just stay put, I guess." Let me see if I can. Hold on just a second. And this can't be coming through smooth for y'all. It is bogged down. The internet, that is. Wow. It's pretty bad. Wow. All right. If I'm probably buffering or something on you here for a second. Hopefully it'll stop in a second. All right. Flying is cheaper. It was $600 fuel for you. Mr. Lee says, "Donald, did you get my email of my UFO pictures?" Donald says, "You want to see me in an airplane? You don't do good in airplanes." Grass says, "Me just going to the local woods would be $100 day drive. Crazy." Mr. Lee says, "Donald, you don't like flying?" Haven't checked my email today. I will later. Yeah, there's something weird in Mr. Lee's sky, but you can't see any details or anything. It's just a spot in the sky, so who knows? Life says, Donald, I'm a mess in a plane, but I've been across the Pacific and Atlantic a few times. Landing about make me come unglued. Donald says he's never flown and don't plan to either. I've flown, but I don't care to do it. I certainly don't like dealing with their security shit at the airport. It's bullshit. Mr. Lee says, Donald, longest I have flown on a plane was 17 hours. Papa says, trackway flight to Sitka, Alaska in January. What an adrenaline rush. Looks like you're crashing into the water. Angel says, Grasshopper, I'm lucky I can just walk out my door. The woods are in my backyard. Yeah, it should be that way for everyone. But humans are stupid, and we turned everything into, well, not everything, but a lot of areas into these sprawling cities, crisscrossing roads, and parking lots, and shopping. Just a bunch of shit for the most part. Papa Craig says these bush planes in southeast Alaska scared the daylights out of them. Life says, Papa, both Cleveland and San Francisco is like that. I always expect to see someone water skiing out the back. Oh, man. Bush plane pilots have balls of steel, says Ben. Worse for you. Okay, do okie dokie. Papa says Rooster Peak is right out my front door. Awesome. So a bunch of people come in. I showed this video earlier. I think everybody should be familiar with it, but who knows? Yep. It's a crazy video. crazy video. Donald says I'd take a train somewhere, but it would have to be direct and not switching trains. We don't really have a lot of that option, though, around here. We should. Turn that off. Life says, I want to take a train to Denver once. Papa Craig says, don't do it, Donald. Trains crash way more than airplanes. Way more. How's that even possible? You know? Like, we have total control of trains, don't we? Mr. Lee says, Donald, I traveled by train all through Morocco. It was cool. Have you not seen that video, Jen? I'm not 100% sure what the story on the video is, but I mean, I think it's fake, but whatever. I don't know that for sure, I guess. Mr. Lee says, is that Igor with his cell phone again? Well, not this time, Mr. Lee. Angel says, Papa, not as far to fall. Judy says, LOL, a lot of people aren't ready to understand that. Aviation is a deadly poison. One drop will kill you. Shit. Life says, holy crap, just got a bowl of the best watermelon I ever tasted. I think I watched it really just once. I don't remember, but you know, just those kind of movies don't really. They don't. You know, I can watch it once and it's funny, blah blah blah, whatever. But I'll never go back and watch it again. Donald says, about as fake as the alien autopsy video. Just had a train wreck in Missouri last week. You watched that movie again, just like what? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? That was a stupid title, for starters. Yeah. John Candy. Nothing like good watermelon. Papa Craig says we have no control over the flimsy tracks trains run on here. Trains derailing at 60 to 70 miles an hour have had horrific crashes. Amtrak doesn't run out here anymore. Huh. You're on a phone, you can't really see it. I thought for sure that video's made its rounds. Supposedly, okay, let me see if I can zoom in on this, because it says Project Blue Book. I think it says 4th of June 1964. And there's some other numbers. Air Technical Intelligence Center. Anyway, they're talking to this what appears to be a gray alien, and they're asking where he's from, and he says he's from Earth, and but he's from the future. They don't believe him. They're like, tell us the truth, or we'll do something, and it's garbled, so you can't hear what they say they're going to do to him. But anyway, he says he is from Earth. It's the truth. He's from Earth, but from the future, and to travel in time is to travel in space. So, whatever that's supposed to mean. Yep. Be cool if it was real, but it looks like some puppetry. John Candy was good. Amazing watermelon life is having, I guess. I don't think I've eaten watermelon in years. It's not something I'm horribly excited by. Papa says, I always thought that video was fake. No reason other than it just can't be. Well, the time travel thing, I think, is just complete bullshit. People have been watching too much science fiction. Reverse time travel is just not a thing that the laws of the universe would allow for. Going forward, yes, you could theoretically speed up the passage of time or slow it down in certain circumstances, but that's reasonable to consider. But going in reverse is absolutely not reasonable to consider. So if people aren't just all hallucinating this gray alien shit, if these little humanoid, look at it. I mean, it looks like some kind of Chihuahua version of human, right? So why can't it be that? Why is it got to be some alien from another planet that just happens to have the same basic shape as us? Why can't it be that it's a race of humans from here and from now? People they just want to jump to these ridiculous conclusions. Oh yeah, these aliens came from thousands of light years away, and they just happen to be shaped roughly just like us. Man, there's a many other types of shapes that something can be, but they just happen to be shaped pretty much just like us. Look at that thing. It's crazy. It's got to be an alien. Well, one, prove the things even exist, but anyway. Left in your comment. John Candy is legend, says Judy. Jen says, between lunch with best friend yesterday and cookout today, my keto is all shot to crap. Life says the alien video was just Mr. Lee on a bender. Yeah. Donald Fuller says, well, if the chat will stop jumping on me. They just fired up the Amtrak train that runs to Washington, D.C. recently. I'd have to board a train from there to head west. Jen says, LOK, Muppet from the future, good to know. Yeah. Unless they just move weird and it just looks like puppet to us. I mean, that's always a possibility, I guess. But to me, the claim of coming from the future is the smoking gun that this is a fake ass video. Fake ass video. If you're going to fake some shit, you probably need to have like you need to be far more scientifically literate. A lot. Like so far that like even your general scientific community might still believe that time travel may eventually be achieved technologically in reverse. That's absolutely nonsense. But you know, a lot of people that may be pre-scientifically literate that would think that's possible. But we need to be more scientifically literate and go down like rabbit holes, I guess, to understand why. But anyway, that's what we got here. This is supposedly aiming from the future. If beings of limited are real, the accounts of seeing these things are at least some of them true, then these things are not from the planet. They are from here. Or they're not from another time. They're from now. If they're real. If like things be so extreme. And so then you're like, oh, why can't we see them? Well, we haven't seen them. The UFOs, right? And if they're that technologically advanced, then why wouldn't they be able to hide from us? We're pretty stupid. Oh, shoot. Hopefully we're... And things locking up pretty hard here. Well, I think we're still rolling, but the chat's definitely locked up. Hopefully the computer don't shut completely down. It's acting like it might, so we'll see. Trying to read his comment there, but I can't. I can see Sandra's comment. She said, Mr. Lee, my daughter and grandkids had these strange parts covered. And yeah, I can do anything. The computer is locked up, so maybe you guys are still seeing me and hearing me, but computer's completely locked up. Mr. Lee, did I put pictures up on the screen when you sent them, right? We need to figure out which one that was, so that way people can just look at that episode. But what you really need to do is go on Mogs, man, and tell your story. Tell Mogs what's your fascination. Man, this thing is locked plumb up. Trying to break it free, but I might be able to. It might shut down here for a second. If you guys can still hear me. And maybe I can get it back going. But and we are completely locked up. If it helps turn that off. Getting some functionality back here. Well, can't see what's going on, so just bear with me. It's almost like it's StreamYard, just StreamYard, because other stuff seems to be functioning. All right, I'm back. I don't know what all y'all could hear. Um, behind from we came. I don't know how far back in chat I was at. There we go. Where Sandra said, Mr. Lee, my daughter and grandkids had a Stranger Things party. Sounds cool. All dressed up in these clothes. Stranger Things party? Really? Is that a thing? Order food, called it a party. Papa says we can return. We can only look from behind from where we came and go round and round and round in a circle game. The parasites, they live here with us. They took merry-go-rounds away from the children. But what if aliens had DeLoreans? Yeah, I figured y'all lost me. Breaking up bad. Yeah, time warping. Mr. Lee says, Lockbird, you're breaking up, man. Yeah. Hopefully it's good now. Talking from the future. The dilithium crystals can't take it. Losing it, Captain. Imperial van just went plaid. Yeah, definitely. Definitely went plaid. That's
I'm surrounded by
Spaceballs reference. Fucked up for a second to me. Haywood's messing with his Wi-Fi now. I'm the alien now. Yeah, I closed the video. And some other tabs I had open, I closed, hopefully. The computer still sounds like it's struggling. Yeah, I couldn't see if the Robo Geese email address. Finger here works every time, I'm telling you. Yeah, I got it, Mr. Lee. No, I've had Facebook shut down for, I think, 2 days because of that. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what caused it this time. Soul stealing algorithms from Facebook. It really says, Lockbeard, we hear you. Your lips are not moving, though. Rubbish picture. Mid South is here. Welcome. He says, I guess I'm looking at a stuck screen. Yeah. We got locked up there for a second. It's a government conspiracy, I'm sure. Get a cameraman, Mr. Lee. Life says, quick. Everyone change your name and icon to Mr. Lee and let's have some fun. Oh, man. Merica. Yeah, Merica. Hello, Mid South. Welcome to the chat. There's Troy, too. Welcome. Yeah. I don't know what probably, I don't know if just a lot of people are using the internet in general today or what. Donald said, what was that video Joe posted on Facebook? Not much content, only 38 seconds long. I don't know. I ain't turning on Facebook. I know that. I'm barely running as it is, it seems, and Facebook will almost certainly shut my shit down. Do you know the name of the video? Maybe I can look at it on YouTube. But I'm not going to open Facebook. Screw that. Jen says, Donald, he did another stolen Wi-Fi from gas station. Well, I'm not at a gas station. I'm out in the woods. Donald says, I guess Steve wasn't able to make it camping with Joe and Molly. He didn't? So why wasn't he on last night? Solar flares. So you sharpen up on your mental telepathy. Yeah. Mr. Lee needs to send us some mental messages. Emphasis on the mental. Angel says, Donald, I think he was going to do an update, but must have lost signal. Oops. Mid-South says, I haven't seen it, Donald. Of course, the only time I'm on Facebook is in my groups. Facebook itself is just a drama site. Yeah. Mr. Lee says, Chessboard, I did try to remote view Lockbird today. He was eating spaghetti and strawberry milkshake. No, you didn't say strawberry milkshake. You said spaghetti. And then I responded and told you, no, that's not what I had. What I had was some hot links and some strawberry milk and some potato chips and dipped in sour cream. Angel says it was on his Western New York Facebook. Not sure if he put it on YouTube. Yeah, but if it was a video, then the video comes from YouTube, right? So is it on his? Is it on his channel or somewhere else or? Let's see what I can find here. Because the last video on his channel was 2 days ago. Just are we been slugging the trout lately? 14 to 16 inches. Oh, dang. Just on Facebook, says Jen. Yeah, have some trout for chessboard. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of trout opportunities in Oklahoma. The water's too hot around here. Papa trout you love to eat, Mr. Lee. Says, yeah, my Mid-South Sasquatch page, though, only has Bigfoot pages and groups, so all the other BS is cut out. Yeah, Donald, do you, like, the video you're talking about, do you know where it is on YouTube? Because I can't get it on Facebook. Papa says Mr. Lee Nana has been doing awesome with them. Chessboard says Mr. Lee, China now saying they have artificial intelligence capable of reading minds, so be very, very careful. Donald says I need to go get me some brookies, but you can't catch enough for a meal with the limits. Well, go. Why mess with that? Go over there to that 12-mile section of that river. I've talked about it on here before in Arizona, where they're known for rainbow trout fishing, but brown trout have been introduced there, and they want the brown trout gone. So they're paying bounties on the brown trout. You can catch as many as you want, and they pay you for them. As long as you got to turn in the head and the guts and fill out a little card and put it in the bag, but they'll pay you for every brown trout you catch. I think over 8 inches or something like that, or maybe over 6 inches. Papa says we don't have many places to catch crappie bass or catfish around here. Where you're at, yeah, that's like mainly what we got is what you just described. Some of these lakes might have a few walleye in them, but man, if you ever catch a walleye, it's a very rare thing in most of these lakes. And then we have gar, but most people don't eat gar. You can eat them. Just use some wire cutters to cut through their armor, and then you can eat them. I've eaten them before. Jen says Joe said they caught some audio last night in the woods. That's all about that's about all the info from his Facebook post. Mind complicated for that. Your mind's too complicated for that. Donald says the video he put up was on his Facebook page. Not sure how that works. And then it's just on Facebook. I'm not going to open Facebook. Mid-South says that creek that's in my live stream from last week with all the cypress knees and trees have a lot of garfish and perch in it. I bet. Papa Craig says Northeast Oregon Trackway. We pretty much have the Snake River by Hell's Canyon. Donald says these brookies are native and the best tasting trout. Well, all I'm saying is you got another excuse to go to Arizona. Catch brown trout, catch as many as you want, and get paid, I think, well, somewhere between $25 and $33 per a trout that you catch, as long as you turn in the head guts and all that. And then there's some of them are like tagged too, so you get a bunch more money for certain ones if you catch them something. So it's just yeah. They really want to encourage people to come out there and fish out those brown trout. You need to charter a trip. Jesper says, Mr. Lee, you know what that thought gets you? Thought you farted and shit your pants. What the hell? Papa Craig says, we have huge walleye in Colombia. Top secret. Shh. Yeah, walleye are some good fish. Mr. Lee says, red snapper's my favorite, and all shellfish I love. Yeah. Life says, I have a killer way to catch weed walleye. Mr. Lee says, chessboard, you have been remote viewing me. That happened to me today. What? Life says you can fill your limit in 30 minutes doing it. Catch weed walleye? What do you mean by weed walleye? Like they're in the weeds? Hiding in the weeds? Or are you baiting your hook with weed? Jen says I have some bacon wrapped shrimp cooking in the pan right now. Mr. Lee says chessboard have to go outside to fart these days. Girlfriend gets upset otherwise. Must have some serious toxic stuff coming out of you, Mr. Lee. Erie, Deary, never heard of it. Papa says, Mr. Lee, you could argue all day between snapper and a few other fish. Halibut. Donald Fuller says our wildlife fishery has been doing good on Lake Champlain. 10 years ago, you would be lucky to catch an 8-pounder. and now 12 to 14 pounds is the standard. Awesome. Mr. Lee says Papa Craig halibut is very expensive here, but I love it. Jen says, yep, Sandra, making some garlic butter to go over it. Fish routines. Strip mining ruined the good streams where you lived. Yeah, it sucks, man. When a while I get up in the weeds, it's awesome. There's always walleye in the weeds. Papa Craig says, if I was still fishing, Mr. Lee, I would really be making bank on halibut. So you were a commercial fisherman. Looks like old Peter Kane is live right now. Mr. Lee's favorite. Papa Craig says chessboard. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled them away. Well, they're really ancient. I don't know if they're the oldest living thing on the planet, but and it's not like they haven't changed some during that time. So, like, how do you define, that they're the oldest? Maybe they're one of. It'd be more correct to say they're one of the animals that has changed the least over long periods of times. Because everything is that old on the, you know what I mean? Everything that's alive today has an ancestor from the same time as the horseshoe crab does. It's just that everything else, for the most part, has changed more since then. So, Papa Craig was a fishboat captain in Alaska for 15 years. So, when you watch some shows like Deadliest Catch and stuff like that, do you laugh at that? Is it, because I don't know. I see that and I'm like, this is probably, some of this is probably legit, but some of this is probably staged too. Like as far as the drama and stuff. Chicago shooters arrested, says Jen. Awesome. Life says an Erie Deary is a front weighted spinnerbait. Add half a worm and use a power bass fishing frog rod with a high speed reel. LOCKBEARD gets changed at least, yes. Yeah, they should say they should say that, because when you say it's the oldest living, well, everything comes from that same time. It's just most things have changed a lot since then. Squatch Talk says, "What are we talking about?" Oh, Merica. I showed that alien video that somebody made that was supposedly talking to an alien that was captive, claiming to be from Earth in the future. Thought we'd watch a little puppetry. Apparently, we got some fishing talk that has to be done here, because sometimes fishing talk's got to happen, and so it's happening. Mr. Lee 3PL says, Mr. Pat is here. Yep, he is here. Quick way to fill the limit. Well, if I had, a lot of walleye in these parts, we just don't. It's the lakes and stuff are just too warm for the most part. I got it. So some of it's real, some of it's staged. Drama for drama. Jeffport says, Papa Craig, I believe I've heard that phrase before. Mr. Lee says, Mr. Pat, we were talking about you. Were we? Mr. Lee's just messing with you, Pat. Everyone does. Angel says, Squatch Talk at the moment, fishing. Merica. Where you're free, except you got to pay the government for the right to just go out into nature and feed yourself. Seems legit. I know they have excuses for conservation, but shut the fuck up. I don't care. If someone's hungry and they go out in the woods and they kill a deer or they catch some fish, that's the most basic, natural thing that a human can do. And it's now something you have to pay the government to be allowed to do. I ain't on board with that shit. Donald says, "Is Pine Island doing a show tonight?" I don't know. It seems like when holidays hit, a lot of people don't do their shows. So I don't know. Hopefully I don't lock the computer up again. Boy, it is taking a long time for this page to load. Stop watching it, I guess. Hopefully he does. And Sasquatch out of shadows. But probably not. I'm not seeing any shows listed to come on. Of course, Texas Front Porch is on, but who wants to watch that? Bunch of dogman bullshit and remote viewer that won't take the challenge. Didn't sing that song. You sit around a campfire and sing it too. Mr. Lee says, Donald, I don't think so. It's free here. Not if it's on private land. It's free here. Yeah, but I'm saying just anywhere open land, like the government. When they say it's public land, it means the government owns it and controls it and has taken away your right to do whatever you want on that land. So they can twist things to mean whatever the fuck they want, but the reality is they're stealing your rights. Squatch Talk says he don't think so. Don't think so. Pine Island. Don't think Pine Island's going to be on tonight. Life says I don't have a problem with fishing license. It helps pay for restocking. Well, that's the story they tell, but when you start digging into some bullshit, okay, so like the paddlefish program, for example, that they started here. I don't know if everybody's familiar with what a paddlefish is. It's not a spoonbill is the wrong name for it. Don't call it a spoonbill, please. That's a bird. It's a paddlefish. So anyway, they took our money that we paid in for licenses to start this paddlefish research program. So they built this little station where you can take your paddlefish, they'll clean your fish, and then they'll package it, give you back your meat. But they take samples stuff for their biological studies, samples from the fish, but you get your meat back, and they package it for you. But the problem is the eggs part, because a fish can be carrying hundreds of dollars worth of eggs. Well, it's not legal for you to make money off those eggs. They keep the eggs because they make caviar, right? Well, so the government tells you can't make money off the eggs, but then the government can use your money to start a program that collects your eggs. They're so nice. They package and they clean your fish for you, but you don't get the money from the eggs. The government gets to keep the money from the eggs. The first year they made like $1 million. The citizens don't get that, but the government gets to make the law where you don't get that. No, bullshit. That money should go to the people who caught the fish. You keep enough to run the program, that's fine. But you don't get to make a damn profit. See, and it's a scam from top to bottom, over and over. Now, what they could have done, well, it gets worse, right? Because they said this program will increase fishing opportunities, but it didn't increase fishing opportunities. They reduced it. They reduced the amount and the days and stuff that you could take paddle fish after this started. After they told us they were going to increase fishing opportunities, they actually decreased fishing opportunities. And when someone brought up at a public meeting, why don't you restock the fish then, right? They said, oh, no, that there's problems with that, like the sex ratios are off. So what the fuck difference does it make? People are, look, when you catch a paddlefish, you take a big fucking pole with treble hooks and you throw it out there and you reel it back in while they're running, because the fish are running. They're going upstream to lay their eggs, and you snag them. You don't catch them in the mouth. They don't bite a hook. You snag them and grab them in the side or whatever, and you reel them in and snagging them. And there's these huge fish. People are out there just snagging these fish out of the river, and you're worried about the sex ratios? It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous excuse. They were just making excuses because they don't want to do something that makes goddamn sense. So anyway, it's just corrupt. The Fish and Wildlife's corrupt too. Everything in the government is corrupt in some way. So I don't want to play with them anymore. I have no interest in playing their bullshit game anymore. If I want to fucking fish, I'm going to fish. If I want to hunt, I'm going to hunt, right? That's the way it should be. That's the most basic natural thing a human can do. Since they're sitting here making bank off this paddlefish program, they don't need our license money anyway. But are they still collecting it? Yes, they are. Of course they are. Why do they get to keep the profit after we fronted the money to start the program in the first place? It's absolutely ridiculously corrupt bullshit. That would be Oklahoma's Department of Fish and Wildlife. Haven't seen Jeff chat. Wow. Pat says Jeff has been on vacay past 2 weeks. Mitzel says, I just got off work, so fixing to jump in the shower and wash my fat ass and then eat a pizza. Y'all have a great evening. Might see y'all later. All right, man. Thanks for dropping by. Papa Craig says, Trekway, I bought them all my life, and they said when I turned 65, they'd give me a free hunting and fishing license. Free has turned into $6. Yeah. It's just bullshit. The whole damn thing is bullshit. It's a way to control you, and if you don't follow the rules, they can come out and they can ticket you and take some more money from you. So either you pay them to let you do basic natural feeding of yourself, or they will fine you money, more money. It's absolutely criminal. And a free nation, it's supposed to be a free nation. You know, it's a free nation, so find some other way to fund your conservation efforts, or shut the fuck up or get out. All I know is like Grand Lake. When I was used to catfish Grand Lake, I caught tons of catfish. There's no way in hell, if they took the limit completely off the catfish, I don't see how people could possibly fish out the catfish. I was turning tons of them loose. I was catching so many catfish, I got tired of cleaning them. So I was turning them loose. Just tons of catfish. There's just this unbelievably large number of fish in that lake. It's not a natural lake. They dammed it up. So thousands of videos of trout and walleye release. Chessboard says, Lockbeard, why do people think the government owns anything? They own nothing except the printing press for moolah. We the people own it. Yeah, but I mean, we're supposed to anyway. But the reality is you go and try to do what you want, and they'll show you who actually owns shit. But hell, even with your own land, like you think you own your land, you don't own your land. Don't pay your property tax. They'll show you who fucking owns it. They'll come take it away. You're paying rent. At this point, you're paying rent. They've taken our rights away to own anything. And they'll even tell you some bullshit like driving is a privilege. No. Humans have a basic right to travel and move about freely. And the government's going to tell me that I can't do it that certain way. They're going to tell me how I can travel or not travel. There's fences all over the place. Everything's taken over. The government should protect my ability to travel freely. They're supposed to protect my rights. So they need to make sure that I can freely travel on the roadways. And the roadways are made for motor vehicles. Therefore, I have a right to drive. A right. It's not a goddamn privilege. Kiss my fucking ass. It's not a privilege. It's a goddamn right. I have a right to move about and travel freely. So government assholes or any fucking cop that wants to say it's a privilege can kiss my goddamn ass. I'm American and I am free and I have a right to travel. I shouldn't have to pay you shit to travel. You know, and it's always bullshit. Like it's like with the toll rolls. Oh, you know, we'll get pay until we get, but the toll never goes away, right? The toll never goes away. So now you have to pay to travel on the toll roads forever. It's never going to go away. I get it. Roads need to be paid for, blah, blah, blah. Well, shit, in Oklahoma, they double tax the fuel to pay for the roads. So why the fuck do we have toll roads? Why the fuck do we have toll roads? I mean, how many times are we going to pay for this shit? Oh, the beast has just in. She's going to sit next to that bag of sugar back there. This is a dog that don't like fireworks. She is not a fan of 4th of July. Hopefully she don't get in that sugar. It's for feeding the bees. Make sugar water for the bees. Life says, Papa, it's supposed to be free here too at 65, but 5-year license both here and when I could in Canada. Pronouns in college instead of conservation. Yeah, fucking pronouns. Troy says exactly. I don't know what to, but exactly, sure. Donald says, I'm not impressed with the rainbow and browns they restock here. They are fed pellets and the meat has no texture. It's like pudding for texture. Life says, Donald, I love the lakes. They trout stock here. You can watch the bass eat rainbows here. This time of year, the bass are monsters. Chess versus Donald, whoops, what happened here? Oh, okay, I see what happened. Chessboard says, Lockbeard, I asked for senators a year ago how many ocean creatures were killed by the 40,000-pound bomb set off in the Atlantic to test a carrier. Never got a response from them. You probably aren't going to. Papa says, we don't have any limits on catfish. Not a lot of people fish for them here. Yeah, if you got walleye that you can catch pretty regularly, I don't know why you'd want to eat catfish. Mr. Lee says, Donald the Foxes left me into the present yesterday. I thought 5 was a ladies' brawl, but it was a jockstrap. Freaked me out. You thought it was a lady. What the hell? Life is Reckless says, we got those monster 60-pound carp here that few fish for. Yeah, nobody wants to eat carp hardly. To a football game, Mr. Lee, for the rumpus afterwards. Donald says, the strap has got to be worse than bacon, Mr. Lee. Donald picked it up with a stick and flung it in the bushes. It's still hanging there. What in the hell? Why are your foxes bringing you crazy shit, Mr. Lee? Papa says, I used to shoot those monster carp with my bow when I was a kid. Life says, I've seen some nice bow fishing rigs out. Never tried it. It's a cute dog, Lock. Yeah, she's all right. Mr. Lee says, got a dog. Well, it's not my dog. That's the head farm dog in charge out here. Viciously defends the farm animals from whatever beasts are in the woods, but scared shitless of fireworks, thunder, and gunfire. What's the dog's name? Marbles. There's 2 other livestock guardian dogs out here. Those are her offspring. I can feel the van moving from her breathing. She is not pleased. She's not the least bit amused by fireworks. Chessboard says, Oopa Craigsy, what the hell? Used to shoot carp with a bow also. You mean deja vu? Life says it's crazy, but Europeans love to fly here and catch carp. But then carp was brought over here. Europeans love to fly here and catch the carp, but then the carp was brought over here. Huh. Grass carp is not native to the Americas. Yeah, they're freaking everywhere. Need to find a way to eradicate them, especially those jumping carp. Man, those things are nuts. I forget the proper term for them. The ones that jump up out of the water, and if you're moving pretty good in your boat, one of them suckers hits you, you could die. It's pretty ridiculous. Pretty damn ridiculous. Oh, let's see here. Middle of the night. Some ancient aliens trying to pull up. Are the carps the ones that jump out of the water? That's one type. Like the regular grass carp that we have around here, they don't do that. But there's the other type that jumps Jumps out of the water crazy. Yeah, the Asian carp was brought over as an aquarium fish. Yeah, people keep things for pets and then they get loose, and kind of like one of the invasive species in Florida is the what most people know of as the sucker mouth catfish that you put in your fish tank to eat the algae off the glass. Scientific name is Hypostomus plecostomus. Well, they've been released in Florida, and now they're just another invasive species there causing shit.
Charmaine the Rosario Sage is sleeping in bed when she awakens to a frightening sight. A reptilian humanoid staring down at her.
I woke up.
Mr. Lee's reptilians. Uncle Bones is here. Welcome. Says Mr. Lee, put that jock strap over your head to hide your identity when you go on Mogs. There's a plan. Adventures with Purpose have a video of them fish doing that. It's crazy. Yeah, those suckers are insane, man. They should just completely drain out because they were like getting closer and closer to the Great Lakes or whatnot. And I was like, why don't they because they're going to get through. They're going to get through. You need to like dam that waterway off, completely drain it out to get rid of those fish. I mean, there's no other way. I mean, are you serious about this shit or not? Apparently not. Apparently not. Oops. What do you mean by oops? Oh, you're going to start hearing the fireworks now. Mr. Lee says, Uncle Buns, I'm going to take a picture of it later and send it to Donald. I never seen a jock strap before. Yeah, happy 4th. Life says the Landkoskis were bow fishing Asian carp. One jumped out of the water and shattered the guest's jaw. That's crazy. You gotta wear fucking armor to fish for those bitches. Donald says the white perch were introduced here when they were selling them as bait fish, saying they were shiners. May the 4th be with you. May the 4th is like 2 months ago. Snakeheads are worse. Yeah, the snakeheads are down there too. They're pain in the ass too. Papa says, I think I saw the jawbreak trackway. Been watching cat videos. Snakeheads are creepy. Yeah. They're weird fish. See if I can find. Oh, that dog's. Guess she wants to find a better place to hide.
Charmaine claims she learned from her doctors that all humans today are byproducts of alien genetic manipulation. Some more than others.
At certain points in our history, different ET races have come to this planet, and they have
Had announced their presence once again.
The Christians are waiting for the return of Jesus. The Jews are waiting for the return of the Messiah. The Islamic community is waiting for the return of Muhammad. The idea of this return did not originate with any of those religious figures, but in fact originated with the promise by extraterrestrials that they would.
Whatever, Suklos. Crazy fuck. This release says Marbles is upset. I can hear her. It's a her. She's female. Can hear her snorting. Yeah, she wasn't happy. I don't know where she went now. She had to find a better place to hide, I think. Well, I see her now. Like, she wants in the house, it looks like. I don't know if she's going to get in or not. Poor girl. She does not like them firecrackers. Life says that yes, they are Jedi and can live on land briefly. Yeah, the snakeheads. Yeah, that's the one. Trackway, says Papa Craig. Uncle Bone says, I am old Lockbeard, lose track of time. Lose track of time, yeah. That can happen. Walk short distances, the snakeheads. The Asian carp restored that poor woman's face. Oh, Pat probably already ducked out. Life says, I've never caught them here, Jen, though I have caught a gar. I've got to watch that numbers on it when I'm retired, and I ask, how the hell am I supposed to tell time with this? Jen says, Life, don't think snakeheads made it here to Ohio, but I don't know. Yeah, they shouldn't be in Ohio. Can't go fast enough to beat those carp from jumping ahead of the boat. Yeah. You need to put a big old caging on the front of the boat or something to keep them from jumping on board. Like you could just drive along and just catch fish, because a lot of them end up landing in the boat. So I'm thinking that you could come down through there with a boat that's kind of designed to scoop them up better. So as you come through, they jump up and then you catch them and they fall back into a big bin to try and get rid of a lot of them. Make dog food out of them or some shit. Cat food. Something. I don't know. Something. Yeah, David Icke. Conspiracy of the Lizard Illuminati.
For as long as I can remember, I had an interest in what some people condescendingly term conspiracy theory. You see, I was born November 22nd, the anniversary of John F. Kennedy's assassination. And every year on my birthday, there's been televised specials on practically every channel talking about magic bullets, grassy knolls, other shooters, as well as CIA, FBI, and mafia.
Yes.
And over a series of increasingly successful books, he began to outline his philosophy. Humankind was not in charge of its destiny. It was the unwitting prisoner of a race of shape-shifting lizards who occupied the roles in the highest echelons of society. From presidents to royal families, all trusted public figures were secretly part of a reptilian, Satanist pedophile group who had been on this planet for centuries. People began to take notice of Ike, and today he spends most of his year preaching to amphitheaters full of fans. He's still making startling revelations, and recently he declared the moon to be a hollowed-out planetoid space station from which our minds are controlled.
See, he talks about something that there's actually evidence for there, but then he's talking about this damn reptilian alien bullshit. I don't know where he gets it. Like the 2020 fraud virus, he had some things to say about that were pretty legit, but it's just this ridiculous, crazy shit that he comes up with these reptilian, shape-shifting reptilians. It's just crazy. Donald says, are snakeheads the same as burbot? We have them here. No. It's a type of fish. Believe the moon landing? Yeah, Mr. Lee. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't have been able to land on the moon. But we talked about that before. That I think that the evidence seems to indicate that the moon is an artificially created satellite that's just covered in rock and debris from several thousand years of asteroid impacts. And so it looks like a natural moon, but so there are certain things about it that indicate that it's not a natural moon. Gillnet the passages. Well, the problem with that is the gillnet would catch all the other fish in there. That's why I think they should have a deal that's like just above the water that catches them on the front of the boat. So as you go through the fish, these fish jump out of the water, and so you can come through and only catch these carp because they all jump out of the water when they get startled as the boat comes through. So you could just only catch them by netting them above the water, and then so have this big like a scoop kind of thing above the water, and then just have the fish fall back. You know, it catches them and they fall back into the boat. Mr. Lee says David Icke, yeah, he also said he was the son of God once. Caused big controversy here. Yeah, he was. I think he was trying to become some kind of religious figure. He was hoping people it would catch on. He may literally believe it too. I don't know. Life says, I haven't talked with either of my game warden friends lately for an update on invasive fish. Chessboard says, Mr. Lee, funny you ask Locke the moon question. The U.S. is warning that China is plotting to take over the moon for military. Yeah, I don't think that's possible. I think it's bullshit. Like, I think the moon is occupied. It's been occupied since it was built. And that if we get to go there at all, you know, United States or China or Russia or whoever, we're just allowed to go. And we have no, I don't think we have a choice whether we get to or not. The ones who own that moon, they're just too technologically advanced for us to say any different. So we probably have to play nice. But any of this bullshit here about China plotting to take over the moon, it's just bullshit. China can't take over the moon. It's just a ridiculous thing to distract people or just propaganda. Snakeheads in New York. Where it lurks beneath. Pork Ranger stories. Champlain must have them then. A little. Life says, sounds familiar, Jen. Watching these woods are haunted right now. Angel says, Donald, I wouldn't doubt it. In New York, they tell us to kill them if we catch if we catch one. Yeah. I mean, it's all you can do is just try to kill as many as you can, but they're never going to go away. The damage is done. They're introduced. They're not going away. Kind of like what we were talking about yesterday with the varroa mites, the parasite of the honeybees that has arrived in Australia. They're going to try. Some of the people in the government probably actually believe they can eradicate all the mites. No, you can't. You're not going to be able to eradicate the mites. It's just the goddamn fact. You're fucked. You could try and slow them down until you get the good genetics in the country, but you are not going to stop those mites. Michelle Pfeiffer. How did Michelle Pfeiffer come up? Papa says, I got some plots on the moon for sale. If anyone's interested, it's today only special. Yeah, there's some dude that sells the moon. I forget his name. It's kind of a micronational community kind of thing. And like when he was interviewed, he talks about how George Bush owns a piece of moon. Well, he's never actually been in communication with George Bush. He sent a deed to George Bush for free, just part of his game. But it sucks because, he can claim the moon all he wants. The reality is the moon clearly belongs to the people who built the moon, who are recognized as citizens of the Eternus Empire. Therefore, the moon ultimately belongs to me. So, tough shit. And I say anyone who can go to the moon and live there without destroying it, you can figure out how to grow some crops or whatever, hey, you're free to do so. Years ago. Narrated story, so I have no interest. If it's an interview, that's a different story. Life says, oh yeah, I've seen that guy, Jen. He reminds me of Mr. Ballin. Yeah, Mr. Ballin can be entertaining, but nothing, it's just stories. And a lot of them are just so freaking ridiculous. It's just crazy. So, how do you vet these stories? Mr. Lee says, Papa, I'm up for that. I can see myself on the moon. Jen says, Donald, he says he talks to them and relates the story. Papa says, I think the folks on Naked and Afraid found out that snakeheads are very edible. Yeah, they are edible. They are edible, but yeah. It's a YouTube channel. Life says, now there's a ghost story. Mr. Ballin is a former Navy SEAL, and man, does he have a ghost story. Chessport says, Papa, I'll bet they are on the dark side. Yep. A lot of people seen some Mr. Ballin. He's done pretty good with his channel, good, a storyteller, but just a lot of those stories are such bullshit. Donald says, life, great walleye, landlocked out, Atlantic salmon, and lake trout and Champlain might get you a glimpse of Champ. The Loch Ness monster version in Lake Champlain. The moon is actually Unicron from Transformers. Well, Unicron is supposed to actually be the Earth. The Earth itself is Unicron. Mr. Lee says, yeah, I could be dumb at times, but I'm also a genius. have a vote for it. You have a vote for it. Life's or Jen says stupid, smart, gotcha, Mr. Lee. The only people to see the dark side of the moon is Pink Floyd. Perhaps. Perhaps. Freaking David Icke.
The lizard's very own Death Star.
Don't mention the reptiles.
Don't mention the reptiles, yeah. Because there were people, when they started to come in, people who were kind of into my stuff up to that point, which was kind of regular fight. Well, it's a bit strange because it was all the way the was manipulated by a few people, but it was all kind of regular stuff. And then I came across with this stuff, and it was
Get it out of the way.
don't mention the reptiles. They'll just laugh at you again. I said, I know, but I've seen enough and heard enough to believe that it's real, and so I say it. I don't care about the consequences for me. Are you frightened? No, I'm not. I don't care. Because the consequences for the world and my children and my grandchildren and everyone else's of humans not intervening in this process that's going on now ever more quickly, are that we are condemning our children and grandchildren. Indeed, ourselves, it's that close to a world that George Orwell so massively understated.
Can we have a look at the where the work gets done, where it all happens?
This is where it all happens, and as you can see, it's really small.
Yeah. Yeah, that's your David Icke right there. He did a little bit nuts with the lizard people. He watched the V series way too many times. Bring it up for some fishing. Need natural light. Life says I'll bring some time. Not sure what he's talking about there. Jen says, how about Quest TV? Whole town and this UFO circling over them. Only 23 seconds. You don't do much with UFOs. Papa says it would be a nice place to visit chessboard, but Life Hits a Trackway says, let's just say I've seen enough proof for those. Proof for UFOs? As in you don't want to see anything more? You have some experiences that spooked you? Or what's the deal there? The movie Iron Sky. I don't think I've seen that.
Well,
because I look at my life and I don't see my life as a life anymore. I haven't for a while. I see it as a job.
Mm-hmm. So this is the new one.
Yeah, this is the German version, isn't it? This is 350,000 words. That in one book is the scale of information that has come into my life about these things. See, that is not a theory. That is evidence supporting the fact.
What was like the first book that really struck you? Because I know there was a couple for me, but you're familiar with Robert Anton Wilson?
Yeah.
And I just liked it because it was funny and it tied a lot of points of interest together. And he sort of pointed me in different directions, even though he wasn't really a conspiracy theorist trying to say anything. he put things together I never saw. He'd connect dots that had never occurred to me, which turned me to like Holy Blood, Holy Grail.
Yeah, just wacky theories. Papa says no, he's way behind on the movies. Life says UFOs hold no interest for you. Is it because you don't believe in them? I mean, the government just admitted that they're real. And so many people have seen them. Like I saw something, not a great sighting, but as fast as it moved, it was just impossibly fast. Like it was stationary. Like it just looked like a point of light in the sky. And it was stationary, and then it shot off like just instantaneously, gone. That's technology. Whose technology? Who knows? But yeah, it was some kind of technology. Check it out. Funny about Nazis on the moon. Life says, "Oh, I believe in them." Well, we've been on for over 2 hours now. I'll double check here, see if anybody's live. They might be. Oh, this thing's taking forever to load. Yeah, impossibly fast. It was stationary and then gone. Just so damn fast. 200 feet directly over your head. And now you're like, nope, I'm done. Donald says, what they have witnessed them UFOs do, there's no way a human could handle that. Well, unless the technology makes compensates for the forces. So then you're talking about, because if you're, if you think about like you're within, a field of your own, and the field moves through the bigger field of, like, say, the Earth's magnetic field. What's in that field, if it's hanging in that field, is stationary within that field. The field itself moves through the other fields. That's a way of looking at it. Blessings all. You too. You too, chessboard. Well, it looks like Sasquatch Out of Shadows is not going to be on. However, Meanwhile Here on Earth is live right now on the KGRADB channel.
The school of Frau Lippi.
Let's see what they're talking about.
And
Reverend Michael J. Carter is an ordained interfaith minister with a master's in divinity degree from Union Theological Seminary in New York City, and now serves as the minister for Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Shenandoah Valley, North Carolina. Reverend Carter has written numerous articles on UFOs and religion and spoken at UFO conferences such as the Edgar Cayce's Our Ancient Mysteries Conference and Contact in the Desert and International UFO Conference in Scottsdale, Arizona. He's a longtime UFO experiencer. He lectures extensively on the topic of religion, spirituality, and the UFOs, as appeared in the Sci-Fi Channel Steven Spielberg's production of Abduction Diaries, The Real 4400 Ancient Aliens, as well as UFOs, The Hidden Evidence, which currently airs on the Travel Channel. There's more, but I'm not going to read it.
Is that Earl? Oh, yes. A beautiful medieval painting. Classic Madonna and Child and Angel. And something above the Madonna's left shoulder, above the right there. That when we close in on it, when I first saw this years ago, I thought a phrase I can't repeat it because we're not FCC, but I won't. But it was, and my first thought was, I'm a painter. And thinking about the role of painters pre the 1830s with the invention of this device called a camera. If you were a realist, up until the modern era in the 19th century, when painters had the gall, start going off on their own and were working off of court commissions or the church, or painting portraits of wealthy people, I thought, let's just say I'm commissioned to do this painting by the church. But I've had an experience. I've seen.
So you can see what you're talking about there. I think everybody's aware of that painting. Life says, dang thing was huge. I believe it was the one chased all the way to Dayton. Mr. Lee says Lazar reckons he saw 9 different spacecraft in the hangar he was working in. So he claims. Life says the Dayton chase sighting and the Youngstown chase were very similar. Both cases were similar to the Phoenix Lights. Jen says, watched a silver oblong, what they call a tic-tac, move across the sky and shot off straight up. All kinds of weird stuff in the sky around Columbus. Yeah. Yeah, crazy stuff in the skies. Governments admitted to it, but they seem to be lying, saying they know less than they actually know. Government fools. Hopefully, you guys understand that we're not believing you that you don't know what they are. You know exactly what they are. Donald says, "Be nice to know where these UFOs are coming from. Space isn't an easy place to fly through." Yeah, I think they're from here. They're just technologically advanced people, humans. And, they're from here. I think they're from here. Can't prove that yet, but there's no reason to, it's more likely that they're from here than from somewhere else. I mean, it's a lot easier to get here from here. You got to ask, why would aliens come from some distant part of the universe all the way here? I mean, why would they come? It's just, why is it worth it at all? I mean, that's a hell of a thing. Unless they're driven like humans to just explore. Maybe they are. Maybe that's a necessary constituent to the evolutionary pressures, to develop intelligence, that you first have to become extremely curious as an animal before you become super intelligent. They might travel here, but if they can get all the way here, there's no way we're going to see them. They would be able to hide themselves. But somebody just a little less advanced, that's actually human, that's from here, they didn't have to travel from anywhere. They're just here, and they just try to stay out of sight, but not too successfully. Kind of like Bigfoot. Life says, "Yep, Jen, my mother and I saw a fireball cross low in the sky. I thought a meteor impact was soon to follow." Which was what lies beneath. Initially says, "What about the spacecraft that hovered over airport that zoomed off and made a hole in the clouds? Hundreds of witnesses. Government, you reckon?" Could be, but don't know. Don't know for sure. Life says, "But for all the time I spent in deserts where you can see the night like nowhere else, I never saw a thing." Huh. Also a YouTube channel. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and wrap her up.
Here's $50.
Well, dang it.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Thank y'all for coming. See you next time.